Football Across Minnesota time with Star Tribune columnist Chip Scoggins. Chip, you got a hot one this week. You were out in California talking to Gopher football recruit Jackson Kollock. Gophers beat UCLA out there. That can't hurt, although it was a little tension in that game, but also showing that how important a good quarterback is. And obviously, Max Brosmer is not going to be around forever, probably just about 6 more games this season. So the future of this position is a big deal. Obviously, recruiting, there's no bigger position to recruit. They've already got one good one on the roster right now, in Drake Lindsay. But what can you tell me about Jackson Kollock?
Yeah, really athletic kid. He's like 6'4", 215 pounds, from Laguna Beach, which is about 50 miles south of Los Angeles. Really just smart, mature, great leader. Everybody at the school raves about him, putting up big numbers. Laguna Beach is not a big football community. Kids there surf or skateboard. He came back as a sophomore. He went to one of the big programs there in LA, trying to, because that's what he was told. You need to do that to have a high profile to play college football. And he came back. They had not won it. They called it a CIF, California Interscholastic Federation. That's kind of their MSHL that we have here. They had not won a championship in their division since 1946. He came back and led them to one in 2022 as a sophomore. And he's kind of a late bloomer. A tragic story with his family. He didn't play football growing up. He was the oldest of 4 kids at the time. And he was 12 when he had a sister who passed away of SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome. She was 32 days old. Just died in her sleep. So that really obviously turned the family's life upside down. He went through some real struggles. He was 12 years old, so entering those those teenage years. He was a terrific baseball player, a pitcher, but just kind of lost interest in baseball and really struggling with his emotions and grief. So someone said you should try football. Went out for football and really found a place that he could channel his emotions and all the things he was going through. Fell in love with it. Was really talented at it, and so started getting some private training. He actually went to in 8th grade. They have a school out there which kind of sounds like IMG Academy, but it's a sports academy called Togethership, where kids go to school and get elite training. But former NFL player Jordan Palmer, a quarterback, trains quarterbacks there, either that are in the NFL or coming out for a combine. And the year he was there, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence were working out there. So in the mornings, he would go catch passes from Josh Allen, and he would watch these quarterbacks. And so they kind of helped him really understand the position and learn kind of the more about it. And so he's just a tremendously hard worker who is driven by the loss of his sister, and he learned that life is precious and you don't waste moments, and it's kind of fueled him throughout this. And she passed away in December, but her birthday was in November. So in November, he always writes her initials on his cheek in the eye black that you see football players wear. So just a really sharp family. And they've since had another child after her death, a son. So they're a family of 6. It was Jackson's the oldest, and just a really cool kid, really mature, great athlete. I watched him play Friday night, and he was dealing with kind of a minor arm injury, so he wasn't really airing it out. He threw more short passes, but incredibly athletic, really fast. He seemed like he was at his best when he was on the run and throwing on the run. So I think he has a bright future.
Maybe last thing on it, how did he wind up with the Gophers? How did he choose Minnesota?
So he initially committed to Washington, and then when they had the coaching change, obviously the coach there went to Alabama, and so it kind of reopened his commitment. And Minnesota had been recruiting him all along. Greg Harbaugh, the offense coordinator, recruits out in California, has had a relationship with him, and so when that coaching change happened, he kind of pivoted to Minnesota, and he really likes the coaching staff, and they have a unfortunate connection with PJ in terms of PJ lost a child right after birth too, and that's something The mom talked about that. She thinks that Jackson appreciates that he has a head coach that kind of understands a part of his life that he still deals with and he's gone through. And so, but they recruit him all along, and they're recruiting California heavy now, and so he's 247 Sports ranks him as the 30th overall quarterback, 30th ranked quarterback in the country, and so he had multiple power 4 offers now.
Yeah.
And so I think this is a good get for PJ Fleck and his staff.